Okay, in this video I want to take you through how to download the competition board parts and assembly for the Hydrobot project. So I'm going to go ahead and select the download link from the assignment. I'm going to click on the competition board folder. Then what you guys are going to do is you need to download every one of these files. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this, and then I'm going to come down and hit download. And I'm going to keep moving up, right click, and then download. Because these are Inventor part files, I need to have all of the parts in the same location as this assembly. Once these things are set up, they're all downloaded into my download folder. I'm going to go into my Inventor file here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit open. Then I need to go to the download folder. So make sure you then navigate to the download folder and then find your files. Now, I would highly recommend before opening these, you have to understand these all have to be kept in the same location. So before opening them, I'm going to then go, again, find my download folder. I'm going to select those files. I'm going to do a Control-C, or you can do right-click copy, doesn't matter. And I'm going to go to a new location. I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to right-click, new folder. And in here, I'm going to then create Hydrobot ARM, and I'm going to put in here class demo. All right, so now in this particular folder is where I'm going to do a Control-V and paste those files in. With these files pasted in here, this is where I'm going to go from to open and close, and also where I'm going to be saving all of my parts while I am working on my Hydrobot. So now I'm going to go up to the File Open button here. I'm going to come over here to my new location, Desktop. And then go find my Hydrobot ARM. This is class demo. Open that up. And then I'm going to click on the assembly board. Now, it should find these parts and pieces because I'm opening this assembly board from this location. Now, it says here that some changes have been made. Would you like to update? Yeah, we'll just go ahead and say yes to that. And now I have my board. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately go File and Save. Or I should say Save As. And put my initials behind it. So now I know it's my board. It's in my folder. Okay? Now, with that being set and that's in position, what I can do is close these up over here in the browser, and I'm going to go ahead and start making a new part. So to make a new part, I'm going to go ahead and click on this Create button. Now this Create button is saying I'm going to make a new part in my assembly file. So part right now is called 3. Well, I don't want it to be called 3. Let me go ahead and call this bottom. Plate. This will be the bottom plate of my Hydrobot ARM. And right now it's being saved to C users S. Lacharowitz desktop Hydrobot ARM demo. It's going to the right location, which is important. You got to make sure it's going to the right location. Then I want to say OK to that. And now I want to then locate it. So I want it to be started off of this piece here. I want this started. So I click on that. Start 2D sketch. And then I want to start my 2D sketch. I'll spin this thing back around. I want to start my 2D sketch on the work plane that is going to allow me to be functioning and building up off of here. And that work plane is going to be this XY plane. Notice these planes are here. That's because I'm building a new part. So I select that plane. I click on it. And now I can come up here and take a look. And what I've got going on is that notice everything is grayed out. I am in my sketch of a new part while I'm in the assembly. Now I'm going to use this Project Geometry button. This is a great tool because then I can mouse over the assembly and select geometry. See, it has turned yellow after I clicked on it because I can use this geometry to now extrude or offset or anything to that effect. Given the fact that this is an 8x8 hole, and I just create this extrusion here, I create this sketch off of that line. Frankly, I know that I'm going to have to make this a little bit smaller so that my base fits into this 8x8. So what I think I'm going to do is use my offset tool. I'm going to go ahead and select a line, right click and hit loop select. So I'm going to do this again. So grab the loop and come in. I'm going to bring this in like a 32nd of an inch. So it's basically a 16th on all sides. Okay, see that right there? It's a little bit of extra space so I know that it fits. Now, with that being set up, and in position like so, what I can do is go ahead and finish the sketch, grab my Extrude tool, and this time I want to make sure I'm extruding the inside. There we go, extruding the correct direction. And now I want to see, okay, how far up am I going to come? Well, I think I'm going to use a piece of 1/2 inch corian, so I'll type in 0.5, and you can see it's coming up off of the part and down into the part because it's seating itself down here. So that looks good to me. We'll hit OK. And then I'll hit return over here, which takes me back into the assembly. So I want to immediately, this is going to be a little tough to start seeing. So I'm going to select my base, and I'm going to come up, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab a default material and slide down. I'm just going to grab here, it says dirt, dark brown. Nah, I don't like that dirt. We'll go ahead and we'll grab something else that's a little easier to see. Gold, yeah, that's good. So nice light color I can see. Now, the next thing I want to do is I need to go back in and edit this because I need a hole in here, right? So I'll go ahead and I'm going to do edit this part by right-clicking on it, hit edit. Now that goes ahead and opens up the part. Notice I have my return back to the model or back to the assembly here. Everything else is grayed out, so I can then go ahead and grab my hole tool, drop a hole here, just say I want to go from this point over, let's say 3.75, just to bring it over some. We'll bring it here, we'll make it centered on here, so it's slightly forward by 1/4 inch, centered here. Hit OK. And, well, hold on, let me go back in and check that hole. Sketch feature, edit feature. How big was the hole? I'm going to use a shaft that is 0.5, so 0.49, yeah, so 0.5 shaft, the hole is 0.49. Is that going to fit? That's not going to fit. Let's go ahead and make it 0.51, or let's do 0.52. Now I know the hole's a little larger than the shaft it'll fit, but it should be snug. All right, so we'll hit OK. So that's set. Now we can just keep building, hit return, and now we'll start the next part. My next part can easily then be placed on top of here. Again, we'll do create, and then we'll go ahead and just call this, probably put a washer in between here. And that washer is going to not be a steel washer, but it's going to be something that I probably manufacture. So you can start to see how this works. Okay, so we're adding another part to this. Again, I'm just going to grab project geometry, grab that circle. Then, of course, let's use the offset. So I'm going to come out. And if that is a 0.52 hole, let's go make this 0.56. Whoops, that was coming off of that as that's not what I want to do here. Well, actually, we could make this for the outside. Let's just go ahead and, well, let's change that. We'll delete that. And let's go ahead and do 1.5. That's the outside diameter. And let's go ahead and we'll just draw a circle here. Since I can do this 0.56, that's my diameter. Finish the sketch. And now we're ready to extrude. So we extrude. This is going to be very thin, though. This is like 1/16 of an inch. And hit OK. And return back. So now you can see that I've got my parts starting to develop in my assembly. Now, I'm going to make sure I save this, so come over here and do File, and then Save, and make sure this thing saves back to the location where you are working. Now, another thing I do want you to notice is with each one of these parts, if I select one of these parts, the washer, and then I come over here and open up this little plus symbol next to the washer, you can see there is a flush constraint on this washer right now. And that flush constraint is actually between two things. I'm going to go ahead and edit that constraint so we can see it. And it's being based off of the edge of this particular hole for the base and then the flat surface of the washer. Now, if I wanted to then say right-click on this and delete that flush constraint, this washer can now move. Okay, so given the fact that the washer is now unconstrained, it can move around. But because we're building in here, and even the bottom plate, there is a flush constraint placed on here also. Okay, so notice that there are constraints that get placed because you're building in the assembly. All right, now, if you want to get rid of them, just right-click on them, and you can delete them. All right, so not a crazy idea here, because when you place something, you kind of want it to stay there, right? All right, but if you have to understand, if you want something to turn, you may have to go in and adjust your constraints. Okay, so hopefully this helps you guys start modeling in the assembly process and start moving forward with your Hydrobot.